We're live. I'm just gonna wait until people come and then we can start talking. Also, let me know if you guys can hear me because I'm trying to use my headphone mic to see if that helps the quality. Hi, friends. Oh my gosh. Hi. Yes, we can hear you. Okay, perfect. I'm just gonna tweet out. So people know, because some people were asking. Hi, friends. What's going on? Lots of drama tonight. Before you start, what's the rewired soul? RWS is the rewired soul. So it's the person everyone's been talking about this week. Just ditched a video to tune in. Very excited to hear your perspective. Oh, thanks. I'm excited to actually have a this feels more like a conversation than just me making a video like normal. So I kind of felt like it would be fun to do a live where I was actually talking to you guys about it because I want to kind of get your automatic feedback, not just talk for the sake of talking. Really loved your last video. It was amazing. Thank you so much, Linda. Love your video on the rewired soul. Thank you. Some other crazy stuff just happened. So I just want to get everyone's opinions on it, kind of talk about it. I'm interested to hear what you guys have to say about all of this. I've seen most videos, but as a therapist myself, I loved your perspective as a social work student. Thank you so much. In my opinion, your video on this was the best one I've seen. Thank you. That's so nice. Thank you. What else happened? So today, this morning, I guess, earlier, he posted a video from it just basically him. He initially titled it apologizing to Trisha Paytas. But then in the actual video where he was talking about it, he barely talked about Trisha Paytas. It was mostly just the way I perceived it was to be a little bit threatening towards the drama community and also talking about threats that he had received. That's how I interpreted it. I think other people might have interpreted it different ways, but that's how I interpreted it. And he kind of barely mentioned Trisha, and he got a lot of blowback on that. Rox is here. Hey, Rox. Got a lot of blowback on that. He changed the title, changed the thumbnail because everyone was like, you're literally clickbaiting your apology video. What? And then he deleted it altogether. And now he has these 4 new videos up that I just watched right before this live came on. Basically, my apology to the mental health community, my apology to YouTube creators, my apology to the drama community, and that he is taking time away to reflect. So that's kind of what's happening right now with him. What bubble tea flavor are you drinking? I'm drinking passion fruit. It's from this place near us. It's really good. Yay, I'm still up. I was thinking it was threatening as well. Had a hard time watching it. Yeah, that original apology video was it was just kind of off-putting because I don't know. It's just off-putting to me. It just kind of felt like that was the opportunity to maybe own up to a couple of the things that he went wrong in. And instead it felt more of a if Petty Page makes a video on me, I'm gonna get her channel demonetized or something like that. The fact that he brought up the adpocalypse, which is something I think a lot of YouTubers are really stressed about right now. I don't know if you guys know a lot about it, but because Disney pulled all of their ads, it's kind of stressful for creators right now. We don't really know what's going to happen going forward. So especially for bigger creators to threaten that and basically threaten her from if she makes a video on him because he knows that she is, I don't know, that felt real threatening to me. Did you notice but in the apology video? Yeah, he did not reflect on himself at all. Aaron, Aaron, hold on. There we go. Hey, Queen. Hey. I did not see it, but from everything I've heard, there was a lot of gaslighting involved. I think gaslighting is a very fantastic word. Oh, thank you so much. Strawberry Loli, thank you so much for the super chat. That was really sweet. It's 8 a.m. in Tokyo, but I'm up watching you. That's dedication. I don't even get up at 8 a.m. Thank you so much. I've never made it to a live stream. Hi, Hannah. Hi, Crystal. Faye. He mentioned the drama channels very clearly in 3 different moments, really driving through the untold threat. Yeah, the fact that he kept saying their names. He was like, Dustin Daly, Ashley Kyle, Nick Schneider. And I was like, man, I didn't know who the other person he was talking to was, but I was just kind of like, I don't know. Love you, Smokey. Love you too, Sophia. Let's see. I'm glad that you're addressing this. Thank you. Hey from Scotland. Hey, Amy. Oh, thank you, Sophia, for the super chat. She said, I love you. I love you too. Thank you. That's so nice. Christina said, I feel like people are taking this way too far. I've seen quite a few perspectives of that on how people are taking it too far. And I guess I want to know, if you don't mind, I don't mean to put Christina on the spot. Like anyone who has this opinion could definitely say this. But I kind of just want to know why people are saying that they feel like it's being gone too far. Because I don't know. I just want to know why people are saying that. Because I've seen that comment a couple times and I want to understand that. What do you think he should do to fix it? Personally, I think that's a great question because I think that's one thing. I tried to say this in my video, but I don't know if it came across. Personally, I think taking the time off is a really good idea. He mentioned in one of his newest videos that he's going to be taking a week off. I think it should be more than a week if it's affecting what he says it's affecting, because in the video he says that this drama has been affecting his sobriety and has been affecting his mental health. And as somebody who struggles with both of those things, I feel like he should be taking more time off, but it's also a personal situation. It's his choice. I do think that what I tried to hit home is that I don't really mind that doesn't have credentials and is talking about mental health. But what I really wanted him to do is make it very clear to his viewers that he doesn't have credentials in every single video, not just in a select few where he says it. There should be a disclaimer in front of every single video. And I think that would fix a lot of problems of what's happening. Stop selling the course, which I know he already did, but stop never have doing that in the first place. I guess that's a hard one to fix. And then I also just think, sorry, I'm trying to read these messages while I'm talking. I also just think that if he either owns up to the fact that he is a drama-esque channel and continues to talk about other YouTubers, but says he's doing it from a drama channel type perspective, or doing what he claims he's going to do, which is kind of talk about things from TV shows, because I think there's less things in that. Jan's review said he was threatening. I agree. I'm excited for Paige's video. Me too. I'm very excited. She seems like she's done some real in-depth research. Let's see. Petty will wipe the floor. I've watched your channel now for a little bit, and I love how well-spoken you are. Thank you. Leaf had a mental breakdown. Leaf is somebody, I don't really want to talk about that because I think she just wants to be left alone, but I will say that in the video when he mentioned her, I got really frustrated because he tried to make it seem like the drama channels are the reason that she's having the issues that she's having, and that's not the case. He's the reason that she's having these issues. That's all on him. The fact that he tried to turn that into the drama channel's faults for making videos about this is just, that's gaslighting at its finest, honestly. What do you think of him releasing pre-recorded videos while on his break? Is he going to do that? Is he going to release pre-recorded videos? Because that's a little, I mean, I guess there's nothing wrong with that, but that's a little interesting. Carolina Queen said, I don't think she means overreacting to this. And she said, I think what he's doing is serious. That's kind of how I feel. I feel like this is kind of a serious topic. Let's see. Faye said, I think what is the worst part of this is the thing he has said to people that are truly sick and came to him for help. He turned on them and spit venom at them. Yeah. I think in his recent vids, he didn't really say that he didn't have credentials, but I've watched him for a while and it's been said enough as to where I know he doesn't, if that makes sense. Sophia, that definitely makes sense, but I feel like for me, you should, when you're talking about it so consistently, every video you're getting new viewers. So I kind of feel like it would just be, because I feel like if you were to watch his video and he didn't mention it, you would just assume that he had credentials from the way that he spoke. And I feel like for people, considering how fast he's growing and how many new subscribers he's getting every day, well, how he was, I kind of feel like there needs to be that sort of disclaimer there, just something to say hey, I'm not actually, this is just my opinion, whatever, you know what I mean? I used to follow him and be part of his Discord. I think he's in denial about how dramatic he is and refuses to acknowledge that some people have legitimate issues with him and his methods. I think he does not take criticism very well. I would agree with that. Oh, thank you, Strawberry Berry. Or Strawberry Berry, Strawberry Lowly. It's not surprising all these character flaws are coming out considering what a horrible person he was just a few years ago by his own admission. See, I don't know about that one. I don't disagree, but I also don't know because when it comes to stuff like addiction, it's hard to say. Like that's just kind of a complicated. It gets complicated when addiction's involved in things. I know there was some issues with stuff about his Facebook though. I don't really know a lot about that, but I know people were talking about the thing. It's midnight and I have work tomorrow. Oh well, always here for a queen. Aw. Oh, here we go. Christina said, I feel like the drama channels are inciting a mob mentality and not coming from an unbiased point of view. I don't think anyone is truly understanding from a recovery addict point of view. That's tough because I don't really. Let me think about that. This is live, so I don't want to just like say whatever comes to my mind. I want to think on that for a second because I disagree that they are trying to incite a mob mentality. I think they have a legitimate problem with what he's doing. But I would agree that it's hard for people who maybe aren't recovering addicts to understand the point of view of a recovering addict. I would agree with that. But I would disagree that they're inciting a mob mentality because I don't think that's what they're doing. I think they're doing what they do always, which is to report on drama that's happening in the community. Hey, Dre. Dre's here. Will Michael said, will editing Hannah make any more appearances in future videos? Of course. I think he's just like drama channels trying to be holier than thou. I completely agree. The drama channels are bringing up what he's been doing that's been shady. Exactly. The real career I want to clean said, I'm in recovery and that doesn't make me an expert. I didn't go to school for it. So all I know is my experience. Exactly. I completely agree with that. I think that's the problem is that he says things about like being in recovery and everything. And I guess he did take some classes to make him qualified to teach like mental health classes and stuff like that, or not mental health, addiction classes, but that's not mental health. Addiction is a very specific part of kind of that whole field. So even if he's qualified to teach a specific addiction class, he's not qualified to just teach on mental health as a whole, if that makes sense. What are you drinking? I'm drinking boba tea, but it doesn't have any of the boba in it because I don't like the boba. Metamorphosis Rock said some of the drama channels are recovering addicts and other live with mental health issues, and none of the drama's channels incited anything. I totally agree. I don't think they incited this. I don't like that he said that in his main video too, where he was like, Dustin Daly, Ashley Kyle, all of these people, like they're the ones that started this drama. And it's like, can you really not do any self-reflection and introspection and think about how you would have played a role in how this started? You know what I mean? That just kind of rubbed me the wrong way. Let's see. Sorry if I'm not getting. I try to usually read everyone's, but there's a lot of comments in here tonight. So we have the most people I've ever had in a live stream. So it's a little bit hard. His real issue is he's still acting above everything. You can't get people to see or to side with an attitude. I think if he was just, I think to me it's hard because I understand him saying that he was, because in his initial video that he deleted, he said that his family was like getting threats, and his like girlfriend and his mother, I guess, was getting threats. But I think he was referring to the video L Loves T did, which was not at all trying to come for his mother or disrespect her or whatever. I think it was just trying to prove something. But regardless, I can get being upset about that. But at the same time, you can't just deflect with that and kind of say, well, people are now, so a very small amount of people that watch those videos who already were probably not part of the main central people, like the 0.0001% that sent a message like that does not represent the whole. And that doesn't mean that we can't make videos on the topic. You know what I mean? Somebody said, you don't like the tapioca? No, I don't like the tapioca balls. My boyfriend loves them, though. He loves them. Gigi Willikers said, I will be honest, I think there's no reason to make 4 separate apology videos. I also agree. I kind of wish he had just put them all together in one. I think it made it kind of confusing for people. As someone also in recovery, I feel that he uses his sobriety as a weapon, if that makes sense. It doesn't ring true to me that he claims to be in recovery when he has no self awareness. I think that one's hard too, because I agree that sometimes he uses it as a way to give himself some validity. Um, but I think all different types of people go through the whole recovery thing. And I think there are definitely people who go through with no self awareness. Sometimes it's just a personality trait, is maybe not being the most self aware, not being able to take criticism. And there are a lot of people like that. He's not alone in being a creator who can't take criticism. Like, so many creators are bad at taking criticism. But let's see. I think he made up the family threats to try to get sympathy. I never wanna say that. I never wanna speculate that, because that seems like such a you like, maybe, but that seems like such a thing that would be so screwed up if he were to lie about his, all of these things happening and the threats. I feel like that would be just beyond. I wanna believe that, like, those actually did happen. But I think he blew it out of proportion and kind of took it as, like, his ticket to try and make himself look better in a situation and to kind of get drama channels off his back. I commented on his video, the one he deleted, and I said that basically. I was like, you can't really use this as a deflection tool. He reminds me of the kids in high school who took one psych class and started diagnosing everyone. What he does is so damaging, especially since the people he comes after are always super vulnerable. That's interesting because I actually watched a video of his recently. I've been watching his videos because people have been commenting on my video, and I did watch them before I made my video. I watched a ton of his videos, but even more people have been commenting on my videos and being like, "You don't even watch his channel. Like, obviously, you don't watch his channel. You don't get it." So I've been trying to watch them, and I'm like, I'm like, I stand by everything I said watching his videos. But in one of them, he basically bashed like psych majors and just said how kind of stupid they were. And I was like, well, at least they have a psychology degree at the end of it, which is more than what you have. No tea, no shade, but like it is. So I don't know why you're gonna bash psych majors, but whatever. Um, you can tell I have a friend who was a psych major. I'm like, she's freaking smart. Um, Repzilia honestly pissed me off. He literally exploited Leafy's mental health to get out of this BS and tried. I didn't watch Repzilla's video. Is that how you pronounce his name? Repzilla? I didn't watch his video. So I'm not entirely sure. I didn't get around to watching it yet. A lot of videos have been released. Oh, thank you so much, Calicia. Just became a fan of yours. This whole situation is messy, and I think it's about time he got called out for his bull. I never trusted him. Well, thank you so much for the super chat. It was so nice. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. Hannah, can you get one more mod? Yeah. Let me look through. Dre. I think I'm gonna make Dre a mod if you're okay with that, Dre. Because I trust you to be a mod. If you're gonna be in here for a minute. Have you ever discussed your addiction in YouTube? If not, do you think you ever will? That's a tough question. A lot of you after I talked about thank you, Dre. A lot of you after I talked about my addiction in that video, a lot of you asked if I would tell my story. And to be honest, my story is thank you so much, WB Sims. Thank you. My story is just kind of like, I don't know. I don't know if I would ever make a story time out it or not. I don't know how beneficial it would be to people. And so I kind of, I don't know. I've thought about it, but I'm not entirely sure if I would do that yet. He bashed psych majors. Yeah, in a video, he was like, well, because I guess Primic made a point that he had taken a few psych classes and that he was more qualified. He made a joke about him being more qualified to talk about mental health than the Rewired Soul. And then he was like, and I'm not qualified at all, but the Rewired Soul cut that part from his video. And he just put in the part where Primic was like, oh, I'm more qualified than the Rewired Soul. And the Rewired Soul laughed and was like, that you can find this video still. He literally laughed and was like, that's cute. I once had a psych major ask me if he thought this person's PTSD caused their alcoholism. So psych majors aren't exactly like the brightest bulbs or something like that. I'm like, bash psych majors. And I was like, dude, you're a mental health channel. What? Let's see. He bashed on psych majors because he feels intimidated by them. I think there's got to be something, right, about like being intimidated by people who right? Like, there has to be some sort of him feeling slightly intimidated. I don't wanna project, but, like, there has to be something of him feeling intimidated by people who do have credentials. I know his mom has credentials, but there has to be something going on there by the way that he kind of trashes on getting, like, having an education and stuff like that. Your video was so well done. I'd love for you to keep covering this. Thank you. More rocks is funny. Repsilla has apologized and stated that a lot of stuff came to light after his video went live, so his new ones explains that. Okay, so that's interesting. Oh, Isabel, thank you so much. We stand a legend. You're so sweet. I love that. Thank you so much for the super chat. That was so nice. Um, I love that. We stand a legend. Um, let's see. Psych majors can at least sit for a licensing exam. Exactly. Like, I don't know. That one kind of made me mad because I was just like, when I heard him say that, I was just like, dude, come on. To be honest, I don't think it's 100% right that he benefits monetarily from AdSense, BetterHelp brand deals, from speaking on mental health and specific people's mental health when he doesn't have a degree. I agree with you. Like, I agree with you, but I know that there are some people that think you don't need a degree to be able to talk about certain things. But I personally agree with you. I think when you're speculating on real people's mental health, I think it's kind of shady to then be profiting on that so much. Especially because, and if he didn't do the clickbait titles, I feel like if he actually titles his videos what they were like about, I feel like this wouldn't ever be a problem. Or even if he didn't, he was like discussing Trisha Paytas, and then it was like discussing why XYZ is like discussing the mental health topic that he wanted to talk about in his like titles. I feel like this wouldn't be so much of a problem. He can dish it out, but he can't seem to take it. I totally agree. I mean, that's the other thing about his initial video that really like made me mad. Not mad, but I was just like, are you kidding? Because he was trying to say that if the drama channels had never made a video about him, that he would have never gotten, him and his family would have never gotten threatening comments from other people. And I'm like, if Trisha Paytas or Bobby Burns made a video saying that as a direct result of the Rewired Soul making a video on them, they received threats and DMs that were rude, which I'm sure they did after he made those videos, he would claim that he is not responsible for another person's mental health, and he would claim that it's not his responsibility past his video to do that. And I just kind of think like, hi Kenya, thank you so much. Hi, you're my favorite channel. Thank you so much. You're so sweet. You guys are being so nice. Oh my god. Thank you so much. But I completely agree. I completely agree with that. I think that just like the fact that he's profiting off of that thing and just, I don't know. Let's see. Has he responded to you? No, I haven't talked to him, and I really don't want to, to be perfectly honest. I don't think anything that I can say to him is anything that he's going to want to listen to. So I don't think it's really beneficial to talk to him. He said he was like, creators, if you have a problem with me, DM me. And I was like, I'm not going to do that. I love that you guys are like, don't forget to hit the thumbs up. Hit that thumbs up button. Let's not forget Rebzilla defended John Cuckian because he did not do enough research. I did not know that, Rox. That is fascinating. I'm gonna have to watch that guy's video then because I haven't watched it yet, but I love you so much, Hannah. Please keep the live video on your channel. I want to watch it later. I'm gonna keep this on my channel. So anybody that like needs to leave, it'll be up as soon as this is over. I'm gonna post it. If he had talked about his experience in addiction recovery and anxiety part, I would have appreciated that more because he has his own story and experience. I totally agree. I think there's nothing wrong with Tawny Michelle is a great example of somebody who shared their story, and that was their way of helping people was by sharing her story. And I think there's nothing wrong with people in recovery wanting to talk about their personal experiences because I think it's needed. I think it's beneficial and I think it's needed. Let's see. Poison's Paradox said, are you going to post this live? Yeah, I'm going to post it. I just feel like he is continuing to drag it out, and perhaps that is his intention. If it was Crookie and Backlash to consider positive, maybe it's the same. I thought about that. I kind of was wondering if the video that he made, the first initial video that came out, not the one that's the 4 that are up now, I kind of wondered if that was a way to add fuel to the fire in a way that more drama channels would be talking about him. But to me, it just feels like And I don't know if I'm wrong about this, and I don't like to just assume people's intentions because I don't like to do that. But to me, what it felt like was he made that initial video where he blamed all of the drama channels for everything and blamed them for everything. And that was his whole thing. And I feel like that is how he truly, truly felt. I feel like he truly feels like it's the drama channel's fault that all of this has happened and that he has done nothing wrong to deserve this. And then I think he got, because I read through that comment section and it was nobody was with him. Even the people who were like, listen, I'm your fan, but this video, you're wrong. Like, you're incorrect. And nobody was with him. He changed the title and the thumbnail like 5 times, and then he finally deleted it. And he uploaded these 4 very short apology videos, and they were very reflective of what people were saying in the comments. So it kind of reminds me of when like TanaCon happened and everybody was like bashing Tana Mojo for her apology videos and not whatever. And she waited like a little bit of time and then gave an apology video that was exactly reflective of what everyone had been asking her to do. I kind of feel like he's just saying what he thinks people want to hear to start gaining back subscribers instead of actually saying what he feels. I think that first video was explaining what he felt. I think that's how he truly feels. And I feel like these 4 videos are to cover his ass. That's just my personal opinion. I can't judge his intentions. I've never met him. I don't know him, but that's just my personal opinion from that. Let's see. I have yet to see anyone bring up the legality of what this guy is doing. Is it illegal to basically impersonate a medical professional? He's accepting money for services he's not qualified to render. I've kind of asked around about that and like asked my teachers and like looked into this a little bit. And from what I can tell, it's not necessarily illegal. But I think if anything were to happen as a direct result of him giving somebody advice, like if somebody were to go and hurt themselves or self-harm because of something that he said to them because he gave them bad like professional advice, I think he could see some blowback from this. But if he was actually a licensed like person and he was doing what he does on YouTube, I don't think he would have a license. I think his license would be revoked. What he's doing is incredibly unethical, which there's a clip of him saying that that's why he says what he says because he claims he doesn't care. Rock said Chris could have taken an example of a behavior to explain a particular ailment, but saying that a person was at a party and had a car accident because they were drunk crosses the line. I 100% agree. What he did to Bobby Burns is just absolutely ridiculous. And pretending like those who are like, hey, maybe he was just at a party and wasn't drinking, and him just claiming that we're all just idiots and enablers. I saw that video and I was so mad because he was just claiming that if you don't believe he was drunk when he got in that car accident, you're an enabler. And I'm like, well, maybe I just kind of don't assume things that I'm not 100% sure of. You know what I mean? I am a junior studying in social work. I don't know who asked, but that's my shtick right now. I'm a junior in college. This is my first live. OMG. Hi. How's it going? I agree. I think he's all about views now. He didn't used to be like that. That's kind of the saddest thing I'm hearing from people is because I didn't know his channel before this, really. I've known him the past couple months, but I haven't been around for like a long time. And from a lot of people who are OG subscribers, from what I saw in my comment section of my videos, a lot of people were basically saying that he was really great and they loved him. And then he lost his job and then he started pumping out videos and only really caring about the clickbait titles and making money. And then it kind of turned into this. And I think that's really sad because it seemed like before that happened, he had a really good thing going for him. And a lot of people who maybe it wasn't the largest numbers, but people who actually liked his content and cared. And then he kind of just started doing what he's doing now. He is now doing more damage than good. I agree. I'm a freshman in college for social work. Yay! Yay! Keep doing it. Don't give up. It's fun. I really thought I was the only one who hated his Bobby Burns video. No, I thought it was terrible. Accusing somebody of drunk driving when you have absolutely no idea, you weren't there, you don't know them, and you have no idea of the circumstances of the situation is just so bad. Bobby Burns probably could have sued him for that, actually. If we're talking about legalities, that's defamation of character, insinuating that he was drunk. And just a fun fact, if he actually, like, if he was drunk, the police would have at the accident, right? Police are trained to sense that type of stuff and like have people do the blow test and stuff like that to see if they're under the influence of anything. So just him perpetuating that was so annoying. I'm the designated driver for all my friends. I have gone to plenty of parties. I'm sober, but I'm the same way, Rox. I go to parties and bars all the time, and I don't have a sip of alcohol. If he was a psych doctor or a psychol, he has to abide by the Goldwater rule that if you've not met someone, you can't diagnose. Exactly. If you had met them as a doctor, then you're bound to confidentiality. Exactly. Oh my gosh. Yes, exactly. I totally agree. Wait, Petty Page is definitely doing a video. She definitely insinuated that she is. Why else would he put four apology videos, more views? I agree. That's the other thing about that. I was like, dude, you could have put this all in one. I've known him since like 30K subs. A lot of people are saying that. I hope Leafy is okay. Yeah, she just commented on my video not too long ago, a couple hours ago on her YouTube. So I'm assuming that means she's okay, but hope so. Didn't they say that the police gave him a breathalyzer and that he was clean? I'm pretty sure I saw that in Bobby's video, yeah. The saddest part is that people would flock to a channel like his because he's selling mental health for free, but selling $100 classes, he's not even licensed. That was the other thing too. He did a live stream where he like addressed everything. He didn't really address anything, but he did address the classes, the $100 classes, and he basically equated it to, he was like, this made me laugh. I was like, really? He basically equated it to Skillshare. Like he was trying to say that if people on Skillshare don't have credentials, but they're allowed to sell their classes and their stuff, you know what I mean? And my response to that is the people on Skillshare are like computer techs, like untrained computer techs. They're people who teach you how to like set up a website. If you can't see the difference between an unlicensed person helping someone with their mental health and their recovery and an unlicensed person helping somebody make a website, I have nothing more to say to you. Like if you genuinely can't see that difference, there's what else can I say about that? Like, if you really don't see that there's a difference there, then you'd have no right to be in the mental health community on YouTube. Like, I'm sorry to be harsh, but like, you don't have a right if you can't tell the difference between that. Let's see. Cops can still see when you're stoned, though. They didn't haul him off. Yeah, exactly. If the cops thought he was stoned, if the cops thought he was under the influence, he would have gone. He would have gone in. Cops are trained for that stuff. Leaf looks like she has an awesome partner to support her. I'm really happy to hear that. If your apology this is so important. If your apology has the word but in it, it is not an apology, it's an excuse. I 100,000% agree. She's really shaken up. How he treated her was my turnaround point from supporting him to seeing through his shit. Completely agree. Leafy came back to Twitter to thank the drama channels a few minutes ago. Good. I'm glad. I was so sad when I heard that she deleted it because nobody should have to feel like they're run off a social media platform in that sense just because of that, you know? Let's see. I supported him until he said Nick made a career off negativity, which isn't true. He had just done a response video to Primic saying he didn't do his research. I felt he did the same thing to Nick. I completely agree. Completely agree. Justin Daly made a video about him. I saw Dustin's newest video. I thought it was really good. It was very passionate. You could tell I think they're genuinely upset about this, and I don't blame them because if I had somebody called me out with that many subscribers and was trying to say that I was the reason that somebody could potentially hurt themselves or that somebody could potentially be hurt when I wasn't the reason, I would be incredibly upset as well. It's a very upsetting thing to accuse someone of when it's not true. It's one thing when he was making videos and comments about bigger YouTubers, and it's something entirely different to talk about smaller creators, in my opinion. I agree. I do. I know not everyone agrees with that, but I think it's different talking about smaller creators versus larger ones. As a PR major, I can tell you he's just backtracking to save face. I completely agree. It's also blatant, the kind of marketing he does in his videos to people who are vulnerable. I also agree. The fact that I went through his description box and every single link was an affiliate link and he's a mental health channel and not even the suicide hotline in your freaking description box, dude. Like, are you kidding me? Oh, that was like, I can't even believe that. It was all just like, buy this, buy my book, buy my course, go to online therapy, which is actually BetterHelp, like all of this stuff. Also, I said on Twitter that if you wouldn't visit an unlicensed and uneducated surgeon, you shouldn't visit an unlicensed professional. Your mind and body are together. I completely agree. Totally agree. He lost almost 2K subs today. I think he's going to keep losing, but I don't think he's going to lose forever. I think he'll start gaining again. That's just kind of how it goes with YouTube. He's thankful to his supporters, the people who won't hold him accountable. I actually saw a lot of people who were like, listen, I support you, but like you need to like leave YouTube for a while and like take a break. Like I think even his actual diehard supporters are pretty pissed off at this point. Like they don't seem happy. I read a lot of the comments on that first video today. I didn't have time to read the other ones, but that first video I read through the comments and people were, I saw very few positive comments. That was interesting. The viewer's voice video was amazing. Yeah, I thought Nick's video was very well done. I feel like he wouldn't be that bad if he just diagnosed. Oh, I just lost your comment. I'm so sorry. Here we go. I feel like he wouldn't be that bad if he just diagnosed pop culture, TV, and movie characters. Like, for example, Dr. Brennan from Bones or something. I totally agree. And he said that that's the direction he's going to take. And if he does, I'm fine. I mean, I don't care about that. As long as he puts the disclaimers, starts putting the suicide hotline in his freaking descriptions, and it maybe like stop. I don't know. That's pushing it too far. But if he did those two things and he stopped using the clickbait titles and he just owned the fact that he was a mental health channel and stopped trying to be a drama channel that wasn't a drama channel, I don't think anyone would have an issue with any of it, especially if he did like pop culture characters. Let's see. I feel like one benefit is that this has shown some of the camaraderie in the drama community. Yeah, I'd agree with that. You also cannot use the phrase, I'm sorry if I hurt you when you apologize. That is a conditional apology. He knows that he hurt these people and he shouldn't have said that. He said, I'm sorry that I hurt you. I completely agree. Now I hope Keemstar makes a video. Ugh. I just don't like Keemstar, but a bunch of YouTubers made videos defending him before the drama. It's frustrating that those people who signed off on his behavior and promoted them to their subscribers did not get any backlash. I kind of understand that. Like, I kind of understand them not getting backlash because I think for a lot of, I felt that, I gotta be honest about this. Like, I felt this way for at least 2 months. I felt this way about him, and I felt like he's a very sketchy person, and I felt like what he was doing was weird, and I felt like I didn't feel like what he was doing was ethical, and as a person who's studying to be in the mental health field, I just didn't like what he was doing. And I was even scared to make a video up until recently. Like, I was just scared. I didn't want to make a video and cause, because for a while, like if you made a video about him, people just, I mean, you got the worst comments. People really hated on you because he was really well loved up until a couple weeks ago. And sometimes it's hard. It's hard to make videos against somebody like that. It's kind of a scary thing to do for creators. It's a shame because I've watched him for almost a year and I really loved the main idea of his channel. I unsubbed because I feel like his true character has come out. Let's see. In the initial video, when he was just glossed over, even sending the DMs to the drama channels, I knew this would turn into a total shit show. You're completely right. He didn't own up to anything in that initial video, the I'm leaving the drama can't channel video. He didn't own up to, he hasn't really owned up to anything in any of his videos yet, but I think the video L Love's teammates scared him a little bit because of the good research and information. I totally agree. I watched that video this morning, and I think he is a little bit nervous now about that. I think that's who he was referring to when in his first video, he said people were trying to come for his mom. I felt like that, maybe I'm wrong, but I felt like that wasn't coming for his mom. That was presenting public information because she obviously just researched all of that. That was all public. She didn't like pay off people to like tell her those things. She just found it. You know what I mean? Hi, Tara. Hey, girl. He has no business using therapeutic terms in his videos. He has not been properly trained. I totally agree. Cheryl Z. He needs to stop that awful podcast where he basically shits on people too. I haven't seen the podcast yet, but I'm interested to I've heard about it. I've just never seen it. Y'all need to watch Emily Artful's video. That's someone who he regarded as a friend, and she basically said he hurt those people. Ooh, I'm gonna have to watch that. I've been loving the videos that have been coming out of this situation. They've been really insightful. A lot of them, especially. There was one, let me see, there was one that I loved. Might have been Emily Artful. I gotta look. But there was one video. Let's see. Creep Show Art did a really, it's a long video, but it's fantastic. About the whole situation and how he tried to kind of manipulate her and all of that stuff. Creep Show Art. I'll link it when I post this video. I'll link her video in the description. I thought her video was fantastic. I was riveted. Like, it was so, so, so good. Diagnosing pop culture characters is good because characters aren't real people. Exactly. It would be one thing if he was analyzing YouTube personas like in skits or obviously scripted things, but these are real people and you only see a portion of their lives. Exactly. And the thing is, if somebody is saying you are not making my mental health better, you're making my mental health worse, somebody like Trisha Paytas, who made it very clear that she felt like he was making her mental health worse. I think if that's obviously happening, any logical person who cares about mental health would stop doing that. You know what I mean? Well, at least, I don't know. The one good thing is I found all these smaller channels. Yay! You know, he deleted his Instagram. I did not know that. I think he should get a degree in psychology before returning to YouTube, to be honest, or else I personally couldn't find him credible again. I will never find him credible. But I think there are some people that can benefit from somebody who maybe isn't licensed, as long as they're aware that they're not licensed. So they're aware of the information they're consuming and they're aware that he doesn't hold as much weight as he claims to. You know what I mean? I personally think he just made mistakes. I truly don't believe he's some con artist or a bad person. A lot of people disagreed with me, but I don't think he's a bad person either. I think he's made a lot of mistakes. I think he got really caught up in YouTube and trying to be like famous and trying to get a fan base and trying to like be the center of all of this. And I kind of touched on that in my video where I said I just kind of feel like he doesn't want to spread the mental health message. He wants to spread his message, and just kind of use that as mental health, like under the guise of mental health, kind of. But I don't think he's this terrible person. I think he just got caught up in all of this. And I also think he's made a lot of mistakes because he was under the impression that he knew more than he did, if that makes sense. It's such a touchy topic, and I know how fragile I was. Oh, diagnosis is such a touchy topic, and I know how fragile I was. Yeah, diagnosis is a really difficult thing for a lot of people. So I think for him to even insinuate that a person has something or try and diagnose their symptoms of their diagnosis is just uncalled for. And it just makes him so incredibly incredible to me. As far as I know, Paige also had access to his Discord server, and you know it goes down in there. I can't wait for Paige's video. I feel like she's been undercover doing this whole thing. Like, I really do. I really feel like she's been legitimately undercover for the last, like, 2 months. So she's pregnant, and she's been very sick, but God bless Paige, because she's still, like, pumping out that good content. Like, honestly, I give her so much credit. The only reason he has gotten subs is because of him making constant videos on Trisha, Jason, and David Dobrik. Pretty sure any qualified mental health professional wouldn't be airing these people out publicly. That's also true. I think he genuinely started out with good intentions with his channel, but it slowly got warped and his mission statement got lost along the way from the attention. I completely agree. I think he's super manipulative. I also think he's manipulative. His videos so far, to me, have just all of his videos about this whole situation have just been so manipulative, in my opinion, to keep his subscribers and keep the people that he is losing. I think he's kind of scrambling to try and save face here, and I think he's using manipulative tactics to do that, in my opinion, from what I saw from the videos. I was misdiagnosed by a professional for 15 years, so I really wouldn't want a YouTube person doing it. I completely agree. That's the problem with all of this, is that mental health is such a delicate, complex intricate topic. And that is why people go to school for years and years and years and years, sometimes just to learn about a specific part of mental health, like not even just as a whole. Some people go just for trauma and trauma-based care. Some people go just for like child psychology. Like it's such an in-depth thing. And there are very few people that know everything about the topic, even people who have gone to school for years and years and years. So I think for him to do stuff like that, where he's giving out these symptoms. He basically just read like the DSM on like borderline personality disorder and now thinks he can diagnose people with it. Also, I heard, I don't know if this is true, but I heard that he claimed that he was cured. He had borderline, but he was cured. And I found that interesting because the last time I heard from my teachers and stuff, that is one of the things that is not necessarily a curable mental illness. I don't think most mental illnesses are curable. Let's see. He openly said he did YouTube to sell courses at first, so I just think he wants money. I completely agree. Thank you, Rox. Your chat is popping, girl. I know, I feel so bad. I normally like to like respond to everybody, but I really cannot. The Shane collab is what rocketed him. I agree that he's not a bad person. I'll say he's a pretty good person, but I think he got caught up in all of this mess and his flaws did him no favors. Let's see. You'd still be able to see his content if he went private unless he blocks you. Maybe he'll activate it after the break. Oh, the Instagram, is that what you guys are talking about? I found you and him a few months ago, but stopped watching him because he came off as abrasive and like he knows more than anyone else about these topics. That is something I agree with, and that's something that rubbed me the wrong way about his videos too. That was something too about him, and I never wanted to say it because like in my video, because I feel like I try to remain really unbiased. And I try to be unbiased, but at the same time, his videos always rub me the wrong way because I just found him to be exactly that. It was very abrasive content. I felt like it was, I know more than you about this. And I always just found that to be really ironic because he doesn't know more than any person who has access to the internet. You know what I mean? Borderline personality disorder is a blanket diagnosis, so it's incurable because it stems from childhood trauma. New to the channel, hi, welcome. We're normally not always talking about drama on here, but this whole situation, I feel like, especially because I'm in the, like, working to be in the field, I felt like I really wanted to talk about it. Because I want to do this one day, you know? And I think if I were actually a professional at this point, I would be even more mad about this. Like, just from the limited knowledge I know as a student, I'm pretty annoyed about it. So I feel like as a professional, I'd be even more annoyed. I honestly can't see him as a good person. All I see is the shadiness and drama tactics to drive people to his channel. I can completely understand people not thinking he's a good person. I get it. Like, I get that. I really, really do. He privated all his Bobby Burns video. I personally think, my boyfriend just messaged me from the other room. What'd he say? Charles is watching the chat. He said to show off my sweater. It's a Ruth Bader Ginsburg sweater. And it said, what does it say? Women belong in all places where decisions are being made. It's RBG. Love her. Let's see. Oh yeah, he privated all his Bobby Burns videos. I really feel like that was another tactic. He already made the money from them at that point. So I see that as nothing. Most of the money he would have made from that in his career has been made. So I don't see that as a real sacrifice for him, except he loses overall views. But no, that's an empty thing to do. I agree he comes off as abrasive, almost as if he's bashing people who may have issues. I completely agree with that. I just want to say I love your videos so much. They always help me when I'm stressed or having a bad day. I love how well-spoken, I say screw that up, and smart you are, and it's nice to see someone with a brain. LOL. Thank you so much. RBG sweater, I need me one. I'll try to find the link for it in the description. I'll put it down there. This thing is freaking awesome. I get so many compliments on it. I absolutely love it. Let's see. One time I was in a live with him and his mom, and they were both, especially her, giving advice to people about mental issues. Feel like that's crossing the line. If she's a licensed psychiatrist and she's giving mental health advice to people she doesn't know or has had sessions with or has met before, that is really unethical. You can't do that. As somebody stated earlier, that's if that actually happened and that's like what she was really doing and she wasn't, that's I mean, I would be way more careful. I think people are still here because this is the thing. With my channel, I really, really try to be very aware that most of the videos I post are probably going to be seen by my employer. And those and like an ethics board could literally, if when I'm a working social worker and if I still make videos at that point, an ethics board could pull my videos if they found them to be unethical and I could lose my license over that. So it's shocking to me that she is a licensed psychiatrist who I know it's a different than social work, but they also have like ethics and like a code, you know what I mean? Like an ethics code. And it's just shocking to me that she's not more careful about what she's doing on social media and her social media presence. Because to me, I'm not even licensed yet and I'm paranoid about that. Because that's real. Like they'll take your license over this stuff, especially on social media. I've heard so many stories about mental health professionals losing their licenses because of stuff they've done on social media. It's really something you have to be taken, like it's a serious thing. You have to take it seriously. I don't know if he's a bad person, but I do believe he's not making the best decisions. And what he is projecting is doing in an unethical and extremely problematic. I agree. He treated the channel Bipolar Corner terribly. I heard about that. RBG, RBG. I've talked to him in the comments before, and instead of answering my question, which would have taken the same amount of time, he told me to join his Facebook Discord. Oh, that's funny. Meg B said, "Hey, Charles." He's watching in the other room, I think. He might not be anymore. I don't know how long he watches for, but his mother isn't licensed other than to WPRK with to work with recovering addicts. Really? I thought I heard that she was a licensed psychiatrist. So that would be interesting if she's not. Bye, Bethany. His mother isn't licensed. Otherwise, she should get it. Yeah, HIPAA is a huge thing too. That's such a good point. I didn't even think about HIPAA. Oh my God. Yeah, you guys are totally right. You guys are making fantastic points in here. His mother is another subject I really have questions about her experience and her true intentions. I would not trust my mental health to her. I have a lot of questions too, especially after Elle Loves Tea, her video. I have a lot of questions about his mom and what role she's playing in all of this. You remind me of my daughters. They are all amazing young women, and so are you. Oh, thank you so much, Faye. Let's see. I need answers about his mom. Apparently, no one can find his mom in the database. The closest one said her license expired in December of 2015. Does anybody know about this? So if that's true, that's bad. Because if that's true, she's impersonating a psychiatrist by him and her claiming that she's a licensed psychiatrist. That's bad if that's true. I don't know if that's true. I have no way to know that that's true or not. But if that is true, I can tell you that that is not a good thing to do. I'm waiting for some more of your knitting videos. They're coming. Charles wants a scarf. The mother came off as very strange to me. This whole situation reminds me of Peter Mon. I do think it's a little reminiscent of the Peter Mon situation. I agree with that. I'd feel so uncomfortable if someone like him made blind assumptions about my mental health based on a few things I've posted online. And that's what it comes down to. There's no way that any of the people he's talking about feel comfortable with all of this. Like, there's just no way that that's happening and that it makes them feel better to have a stranger trying to use them as clickbait to talk about mental health issues and make sweeping generalizations about mental health issues. Carrie is not a psychologist. She's a drug and alcohol counselor, and she is not registered. That's not good. again, I can't, like, I trust what you're saying, but I can't verify it. But like, if that is true, and they have been saying this whole time that she is a licensed psychiatrist, that's not good. That's not good. But if that were true, and if that is true, it would make a lot of sense why he's trying to shut down drama channels, because his mom can get in a lot of trouble for that. So it would make sense that he saw Elle Loves Tea video, Elle Loves Tea, her video about his mom, and see all the information she was able to dig up. It would make sense for him to kind of go off of that. I'm glad you're covering this from a very non-biased standpoint. I enjoy your content, and the subject is incredibly sensitive. It's a delicate balance that you seem to be handling well. Thank you so much. When will YouTubers learn to stop lying about credentials? Lies can always be proven with one Google search. I completely agree. I don't understand it. If you were just upfront, no issues. Oh, thank you so much, Sabrina. She said, Heart, Stan is streaming legend. Charles should start a Twitch. I've told Charles to start a Twitch. I feel like he could just play. He's not like, he loves playing video games anyway. I was like, why don't you just start streaming your video games? I've told him so many times. Thank you so much for your super chat. That was so nice. I'll tell him you said that, though. If he's still watching, Charles, they want you to make a Twitch. I love to learn about all of these people I've never heard before from you. Did this guy's mother go to medical school? Otherwise, she wouldn't be a psychiatrist. I don't know about that, actually. I'm kind of just finding this information out as I'm on the live, so I'm kind of interested to see. I am uncomfortable because it seems they are both unlicensed and they're unethically trying to work with people outside of state lines. That is another great point that I never thought of, is the fact of state lines and all of that. I don't know how BetterHelp gets around that. I haven't looked into that, of how they get around. I think they're in-state people, though, because different states have different standards and guidelines for mental health. So that's another really interesting point. I feel like in some ways he saw like Katie Morton, I think, do her videos and was like, oh, I can do this. That's exactly what I think too. I think he saw her success and was kind of like, oh yeah, I can talk about this too. But her videos are more centered around having conversations with the actual person, not just making videos speculating on them without speaking to them. This rabbit hole goes down to bedrock. That is so true. I would have made a video, but like, I don't want to get my channel to get tainted by the drama. I get that. Let's see. Can we talk about how he told people that marijuana was bad, but please go check out ketamine? Did he say that? That's strange. That's a strange thing to say. I didn't see that, but that's an interesting perspective. That's a hot take that I haven't heard before. Let's see. Hey, Hannah. Hey, Pocky. See. You are very appropriate and caring, and your attitude is much appreciated. Thank you so much. Charles commented with a high five. He's still in here. Angelo, thank you so much. I feel sorry for the people who thought of him as some kind of friend just to be kicked to the curb as soon as they started asking questions. Shameful. That is such a good way to put it. Because I really think, especially because Angelo, first of all, thank you for the super chat. But also I want to say that's such a good point, because I feel like he created not only the YouTube channel, because this is kind of a personal thing too. Like, I know a lot of you guys and I recognize you guys in the comments and I talk to you guys and like whatever, but to also create the Facebook group, which I've heard has not really been so much about him, but more about like the community as a whole, to create that. And then to also create the Discord and to create the Patreon and to create all of these kind of communities. And then as soon as people started questioning him, to shut down and just kind of accuse them of being drama lovers and all of that stuff. It's sad. Like, it is sad. And these are people who came to him because they obviously felt like they had something going on with their mental health that they wanted clarity on. And I think that's what makes this even more sad. That's such a good point. And thank you, Angela, so much. Thank you. I get the vibe that Chris would want to be more like a life coach than a mental health expert that he claims to be. I think so too. And going off of that, I saw in one of his videos, he was talking about something to do with like working. And by the way, I found out he was the alumni coordinator for a mental health facility. And as far as I'm aware, that does not have a lot. You might work with some patients, but that's not super like patient to patient. That's kind of like coordinating like events and stuff like that. I don't know what it entails, I guess, at this specific one, but that was kind of weird to me. But I also he was talking about how getting people angry, like, and going, like, challenging them and getting them angry at him, pays off in the long run because he said, "You know how many people I made angry that ended up coming back to me a couple months later and thanking me for pushing them and making them angry." And my thought was like, imagine all the people that never came back to you because you weren't willing to accommodate them for treatment, which is what you're kind of taught as a mental health professional. Like, you push people when they need to be pushed, but you don't just shove people into doing something they don't want to do. You accommodate them as well. So to me, it's like he's like, oh, people stormed off. But then I saw them a couple months later and they thanked me. And I'm like, can you imagine all the people that didn't thank you and who just left and started using again because you weren't accommodating to them? Like, it's just an interesting. Ketamine is a whole, yeah, we're talking about ketamine now. Ketamine is a whole thing. I know there's been some really positive research about it helping with mental health, but I think there still needs to be a lot more research done on it before I would legitimize that. But I think it could be helpful. But there's already been tons of studies about weed helping mental health. So I don't know why people would say that that's anybody who knows about that would say that that's wrong. Um, Jeff said the director of that rehab center has been charged with murder. What? What is going on? This is such a wild, wild ride. Like, I can't even. Let's see. Oh, Tina. Okay, I just saw this. Tina, thank you so much for the donation. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It says, love your sweater, BTW. Where can I get it? I found it through a Facebook ad, but I will post it in the link once I post this video so you can grab it. It was really inexpensive too. It was not that much. So you can go grab it. Thank you so much for the super chat. That's so sweet. Let's see. He supported ketamine only because of Dr. Mike's most recent video. I haven't watched Dr. Mike at all, but I've seen that he's like retweeted some of his stuff. Let's see. I don't smoke weed, but I think it's a good thing for other people. I don't either, and I also agree. I think if it works for you, more power to you. You go for it, especially if you can get the card and everything. Let's see. He should just be honest, but I guess that's too hard. I think if things are getting as deep as what we've been talking about on this live stream with his mom and like other stuff, I think if things are happening with that, then yeah, telling the truth would be difficult at this point because that's a whole other mess that I didn't know about. That would be very interesting to hear more about that. Because if this is all true, what we're talking about here with his mom not being licensed and all this other stuff, that's a whole other very serious situation. And that might be why he's trying to deflect onto the drama channels now and trying to get everyone to kind of stop this. And that's interesting. It's an interesting kind of conspiracy because I don't know for sure, so I can't claim that. But do you think he always had sinister intentions, or did he just got in over his head and was messy AF about it? I think he bit off way more than he could chew. I don't think he started out with bad intentions. I think he just got wrapped up in it. And I think he wasn't able to keep up. I mean, ketamine is a legal drug. It's not illegal, it's legal. I had a friend who has a severe bone disease, and he was on a trial for that bone disease for a few months. Let's see. I agree with everyone on this situation, but it's frustrating that people weren't focusing on this in Trisha's case. Everyone mostly cared about her problematic statements about him. I don't know. I see that both ways too, because Trisha was wrong. Like, no matter what way you slice it, like Trisha was wrong for what she said about the once an addict, always an addict. And it wasn't even the words, it's the way she said it. You know what I mean? Like, she was wrong for that. But his response video and his attacking her, I think most people have seen as wrong from the get. Jeff said, I have so much dirt on him. I'm the subreddit moderator. That's very interesting. Jeff, you should make a video. I would love to see your what you have to say about all this. You're bringing some real tea here. Girl, you're my new favorite channel. Don't let me down. Aw, no pressure. Let's see. I want that shirt too. BetterHelp actually gets away with it because no one is actually licensed or certified. I could sign up to be a BetterHelp employee right now with no qualifications, and that is my problem with BetterHelp. T by Ali just uploaded a video about the Rewired Soul 2, like just now. I can't wait because I heard that she's been researching, just like Petty, she's been researching for a while. Let's see. Neither Trisha or Chris can take criticism. I totally agree. I like people using their channels as a way to share what they are going through because I also struggle with mental illness. But if you're going to start diagnosing people, you better have a link with your credentials. Completely agree. As far as I know, you can't just get K besides the aspirin at pharmacy. It is still controlled, requires RX. Yes, that's true. Let's see. I left his Facebook group this morning because of deleting their posts about the drama because a lot of people were really disappointed in him by it. That's really sad. That whole thing makes me sad because I heard so many positive things about that Facebook group from a lot of people just saying that like they loved it and they felt such a sense of community. And that's so sad. Oh wow, T by Ali's video is 20 something minutes long watching after this. Yeah, I'm probably gonna log off soon so I can go watch it. I really want to watch her video. I've been waiting for it. I heard that it's gonna be really good. But I'm gonna post this whole live stream. So if you just got here or you missed it, I'm gonna post everything. Let's see. New viewer here for what it's worth. Hi. Thank you. Let's see. I have BPD and PTSD, and I found his channel after a really vulnerable and scary time in my life. So finding out he's a con man hurts. That's the thing about all this. And that's why I think when he tries to equate it to a technician who doesn't have a degree on Skillshare to a mental health like professional, there's no real correlation between those two. Like it just bothers me like to pretend that they're the same thing that they one is okay, you might have a messed up website if the person is uneducated and gives you the wrong information. The other is a person literally can die. Like mental health kills people and he just doesn't seem to take that seriously at all. At all. Let's see. Def watching the T by Ali video bid, then coming back to the comments to dish. I reached out to him about stuff in the DMs and I have been afraid to speak out. Nisi Pisa T. Nisi Pisa and I are fighting. There's a lot of drama. No, I'm just kidding. It's one of my favorite people. I don't see how Chris doesn't seem to understand how necessary being educated and licensed is. I completely agree. I made his Discord and it went to hell and we tried to talk to him about it and he disregarded all of it. Hi, Rax. Sharing videos, talking about your own mental health struggles is great. Totally agree. I just want to say that I have been trying to learn to do makeup, so I'm going to binge your videos. Thank you. I feel like Trisha kind of like a hedgehog. She lashes out when she's hurt without knowing about the consequences. Seeing how he kept making videos on her, I'm not surprised it happened. I don't even blame her I blame her for the one comment she made that was really messed up, but I do not blame her for lashing out. Oh, thank you so much, Wendy. She said, gotta go, but I appreciate you. Thank you so much for the super chat. That's so nice. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Do you need a license to be a life coach? I don't think so. You just say you're a life coach. I mean, I love your Twitter feuds with Nisa. Nisa and I are always fighting. Let's see. There's such a difference between following instructions for a website and handling a person's mental health. I totally agree. I just want to say that I really love what your channel has grown to and that you are going into other topics. I just adore your personality and it seems more like a community now and not just a makeup channel. Thank you so much. I love that. No, you don't need a license to be a life coach. Thank you, Cheryl. I can read how to write a plug. Does it make me an electrician? There is something fishy going on. Exactly. It's like saying because as a receptionist you can share the same job duties as a doctor, that somehow also makes them a professional. I totally agree. Damn, guess I'm a life coach now. Like, yeah, honestly, go for it. Let's see. Let's see. I feel like Trisha's comments came from a place of hurt, not saying what she said was right, but he kept antagonizing her. I agree as well. I think she was trying to hurt him back, which doesn't make it right, but it adds context to that situation. You know what I mean? Let's see. This is completely irrelevant, but I've been watching you for over a year and I just love you and your content more and more every time you post. Thank you so much. You need a health coach license in Illinois. That's interesting. I just watched his multiple apologies, and it was weird to break it up the way he did. I think he needs longer than 1 week away from YouTube. I completely agree. I'm in medical school now, and I would never give somebody medical advice because I'm not licensed yet. Well, I understand the info. I'm not trained enough yet. That's exactly how I feel being a social work student is I would never be like, oh, come to my office and let me give you that. Like, no, I never do that. Let's see. I'm not even going to watch the apology. I think it's weird that his girlfriend is also going after people in the comments and stuff too. I didn't even know about that. That's interesting. I'd be surprised if he stayed away for a week. I would be too. He didn't bother to apologize to his community. That to me was ridiculous. Only creators. That's such a good point. You don't apologize to the people who blindly follow you. I completely agree. Oh my gosh. All right. Well, I think I'm going to log off and go watch the Tea by Allie video. I think we've talked about most of the stuff I really wanted to touch on with this. If more stuff happens or if more comes to light, especially if more info comes out about his mom, I definitely would be interested to like make another video, a sit down video about it. I might just throw it into the weekly drama updates instead of doing a standalone video. But I'm probably gonna do that instead. So go watch Tea by Allie's video because I heard it's gonna be really, really good. She's been doing a lot of research. So if I do have something more to say, I'll talk about it in Friday's video. But yeah, I love doing this little live stream. We should do these more when like things happen because I like being able to just get your guys' first opinion right off the bat. But thank you. I love you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you to everyone who gave a super chat donation. It was very, very sweet. And I am going to probably hop on Nick's live tonight and I'll be in the comment section for a little bit. I don't know if I can stay the whole time because I have to do a lot of homework tonight, but if I can, I'll be there. All right. Love you guys. Bye.